Now on Sunrise at 7 o'clock, Beaverton police on the hunt for this driver after they hit a motorcyclist during a road rage incident.
Plus, dozens of people arrested after occupying an engineering building at the University of Washington.
And in honor of Mother's Day coming up this weekend, DoorDash is releasing its list of the top 100 brunch spots across the U.S. And a local favorite is on the list. We're going to let you know which spot made it coming up here in the live streaming hour of Sunrise at 7 o'clock.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 a.m. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. The 7 o'clock hour looks good on you. 7 o'clock hour looks good on the two of you as well. Ashley Graham's in today for Chris McGinnis. We've got Rod Hill with your Tuesday forecast.
Beautiful morning out there. Of course, 7 o'clock now, well past sunrise, and temperatures are on the rise. It is sunny everywhere again today. Here's our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. Seas look fairly quiet, not much of a chop out there. 44 is the number. And here's downtown Portland looking north. Of course, you can see the Convention Center and the Moda Center up by 5. We're now at 51 degrees, already pretty comfortable to be out and about. Your planner moving forward, 71 degrees at noon. Yesterday, the high was 78, and today we could get up to 84. Not a record, but if we make it, it would tie what has been the warmest temperature of the year so far. Don't see much wind out there. Cloudiness is in your forecast starting tomorrow. We'll have that 7-day forecast for you, of course, coming up. Here's Ashley.
Well, Rod, we'll be happy with what we get today. Those 80s sound really nice. Here's a look at the Glen Jackson Bridge this morning as that commute really starts to pick up. We see a lot more of you hit the road after we hit this 7 a.m. hour. We are going to take a look at one of those slower spots right now. This is Sunset Highway at Jefferson heading into the tunnel. So, of course, give yourself a little bit of extra time here if you plan to leave in the next hour or so. But I'm not tracking any major crashes or delays at this point. We'll give you a look at the east side as well, where things are picking up. This is Interstate 84 at 37th. A reminder for those of you who are in the St. John's area who take the St. John's Bridge. I think momentarily here about 7 o'clock, we are supposed to see a road closure, East Bridge Avenue. That's closure again starting right now until 5 o'clock today. This happened yesterday. Today is the second day of that bridge maintenance, so give yourself some extra time to get to where you need to go. Guys.
Thank you, Ashley. Our top story here at 7, a Clark County motorcyclist walked away from what appears to be a case of road rage with only a concussion, some scrapes and bruises.
So this whole thing was caught on dash cam video. We did pause the video, though, right before the motorcyclist gets hit. Here's KGW's Alma McCarty with the details.
I think it's really hard to watch just because it's so deliberate.
A confrontation between a minivan and a motorcyclist recorded by a dash cam.
My brother was trying to be like, well, do you not see me? What is happening? And then the driver made eye contact with him and jerked the wheel.
What investigators say was an intentional sideswipe Monday morning after 6 on westbound 26 in Beaverton knocked the rider, Corey, and his motorcycle to the ground and clear across 2 lanes of traffic and onto the shoulder. Video shows the blue Kia Carnival speeding off while other motorists stop to help.
I don't care what happened prior to it. It doesn't give anybody that right. And motorcycles on the road are just like cars. They have license, they have rules to follow. But who in their right mind? That guy has issues, and I'm sorry he has issues, but who in the right mind would do something like that? I don't understand.
Corey's mother, Patsy, and sister, Brittany, who asked to share only their first names since, as far as they know, the suspect is still out there, say what viewers didn't see. Not just one near miss, but 2.
The Kia cut him off and slammed on its brakes, and then my brother went around him and the Kia went over and almost hit him again.
Somehow, Corey, who was wearing a helmet, his sister says, walked out of the hospital hours later with a concussion but no broken bones.
He's bruised and banged up pretty bad, but otherwise he's okay.
Beaverton police describing the suspect as a white man around 30 to 40 years old with a black beard.
I would just say if you know who did this, do the right thing. Do the right thing, because you would hate to be on the other side of this.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Again, this happened at about 6:15 yesterday morning on Highway 26 between Highway 217 and Cedar Hills Boulevard. Police are asking anyone who saw what happened or knows anything about it to give them a call. We're also learning more about a police chase that ended with a car crashing into this yard in North Portland last weekend. Authorities say it started at a Vancouver Safeway early Sunday morning when a man told an employee there that he was being forced to steal after accepting a ride home from some people that he knew. But instead of taking him home, he says they threatened him with a gun, hit him, then demanded he steal items from them, or for them that is, from the Safeway. After hearing all that, the employee called 911. Authorities later spotted the suspects driving on I-5, so they chased after them into Portland, where they eventually crashed their car before being arrested.
This is terrifying. Listen to this. Vancouver police say a man who was shot and killed was the victim of a car break-in that turned into a home invasion after the suspects found a garage door opener. This was around 4 a.m. Saturday. Investigators say multiple people were involved here. After the thieves got the opener from a rental car, authorities say that they opened the garage and were confronted by a resident and then shot him. The victim died at the hospital and hasn't been publicly identified.
We really just encourage people to be very aware of suspicious activity in their neighborhoods. As always, if you see something, we don't encourage people to confront anyone. Call 911 and let police come out and investigate what is going on.
Police say they believe the suspects are also connected to another car prowl incident. Anyone with information should contact Vancouver police.
Officials now say 4 bodies were recovered from Portland area rivers this past weekend, 3 on Saturday and another on Sunday. So that brings the total number of bodies pulled from local rivers over the last 3 weeks to 9. Yesterday, we reported on 2 bodies pulled from the Willamette on Saturday. Later that afternoon, a 3rd body was recovered from the Columbia River. Multnomah County authorities say that incident came from an accidental drowning earlier in the day. On Sunday, the Clackamas County Sheriff's Office found the body of the missing kayaker who went over Willamette Falls last month near Oregon City. While this may sound alarming, a lot of people are saying, what the heck is going on with all of this? Officials continue to say it is not unusual to get an increase in calls like this time of the year.
You get more people out. You get people on the side, you get people playing by the water, so they start to notice, if there's something in the water, they actually make the phone call and call 911.
We're still waiting for the identities and the cause of death of the other bodies that were recovered.
The Oregon Zoo's youngest sea otter is celebrating her otterversary. Her otterversary is different from her birthday. It marks the day that she was rescued. Uni Sushi, that's the name, joined the zoo's otter family 6 years ago after she was found orphaned, then rescued and rehabbed by the Monterey Bay Aquarium. Since then, she's been living her best life. And that includes playing basketball and shucking oysters. Nom, 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 nom. All right, now to a live look from Furry Friends at Cat Only Shelter in Vancouver, Washington. Meet Pepper. She's a 3-year-old. She was a stray tabby mom. She's cute. The shelter is taking part of an online fundraising event right now called Give Big. That's happening throughout the state of Washington today and tomorrow to support local nonprofits. And we're talking to them coming up at 7:45. And Rod Hill, I heard that you were a cat guy. You had many of them back in the day.
Yeah, growing up, it really is one of those childhood memories when you have a cat and they have kittens and you folks, I think this is still the case. You get out the big box. Ours was in the garage and the cat has the kittens in the box and you get to see all that take place and a lot of good memories. All right, here's the Astoria column camera this morning. Again, the coast is wonderful, and usually when Astoria is sunny, we're all sunny, and that's certainly the case on this Tuesday. Your number, pretty good visibility, looking down over the Astoria-Meckler Bridge. 50 is your temperature outside, about the same as Portland. In fact, Portland's at, 51. We have light winds. We'll keep a mostly sunny sky throughout the day today. Early this morning, temperatures were noticeably warmer than where we were 24 hours ago. Now at 7 o'clock, we're on the warm-up. 52 in Wilsonville, Westlands at 51, Beaverton and Forest Grove each at 47 degrees. Salem, good morning, 49 is your number. Has to be a little bit of east wind out in Silverton as Decatur. The wind direction today is generally from the east, but not expecting anything gusty. But you folks, 58 and 58, pretty warm out the door this morning. Here's your temperature March. This has us 73 at noon, and this has us 80 degrees at 2 o'clock. We're forecasting a high today of 84 degrees. Yesterday was 78, so you'll definitely notice that being warmer, right? Here are the temperatures this afternoon on the map. Everybody's dry, everybody has sun. Might become partly cloudy at the coast today, but overall a pretty bright day expected. This shows 70 at 4 in Tillamook, 80s from Kelso down through Salem, nearing 80 in the Dalles, and nearing 70 out in eastern Oregon today. 7-day forecast for you. Tomorrow, different. We have a weak front coming in. That'll bring some cloudiness, knock the temp down to 70. Later in the day and early evening, models are picking up some light showers in the area. Wouldn't be much, but maybe some. And then we're back to all dry Thursday. Friday could be 80. And sticking with what's looking to be at this point, growing confidence of showers, cloudy skies, and temperatures only in the mid-60s on Mother's Day, and a similar day, at least a rain chance continuing on Monday, and that is your forecast. Here's Ashley.
Man, you caught my eye with 70 in Tillamook. It makes me want to take a quick trip over to the coast. Sounds absolutely beautiful. We're not tracking any major crashes or slowdowns yet so far this morning, but we are starting to see some of those slow spots. Of course, one of those slow spots as we get to this time of the morning is going to be the Interstate Bridge. Those of you commuting to and from Oregon and Washington, I'll give you a look right now from our camera here in Jansen Beach. You can see folks slowing down just a little bit, but things moving right along. Now we'll take a look here. This is Interstate 84 at Grand Avenue. So right as you get into the downtown area as well, things moving there. Now we'll head a little bit further south. This is I-5 as well, but this is down in Wilsonville. Again, one of those slow spots where things start to bunch up as people head into Portland this morning. I do have a reminder for some of those of you who live in Clatsop County, those of you in Astoria, if you take the Lewis and Clark River Bridge, we're going to talk about that in just a couple of minutes. Guys.
Ashley, thank you. Portland police arrested 5 people at a protest on Portland State University's campus where a conservative activist and former college swimmer Riley Gaines was scheduled to speak. Around 7 o'clock last night, the university asked Portland police to help with the crowd outside the Smith Memorial Student Union building where the event not related to the university was taking place. Gaines has previously spoken out against allowing transgender athletes to compete in women's sports. A crowd of protesters gathered outside the building, many of them seen holding signs expressing their support for transgender rights.
In Seattle, about 30 protesters were arrested after breaking into a building at the University of Washington. Pro-Palestinian demonstrators began occupying an engineering building on the campus around 5 o'clock last night. The latest updates from Seattle tell us that the campus is clear this morning. That group was reportedly protesting the university's ties to Boeing, which donated $10 million to support the cost of that engineering building. In an online post, a group called Super UW said the protesters want the university to cut its ties with Boeing because of the company's defense contracts with the military, specifically what's being used to support Israel Defense Forces.
Coming up in 2 minutes, DoorDash naming the top 100 best brunch spots in the U.S. So look at one local favorite who made the list. And later, Cardinals gathering as the selection process to find a new pope gets underway. Sunrise streaming at 7 continues right after this.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pidawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Pidawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team, tonight on KGW.
That's an aggressive meow.
Wow. Okay. Taking a live look now from Furry Friends, a cat-only shelter in Vancouver, Washington. Aren't they cute? The shelter is taking part of an online fundraising event called Give Big that's happening throughout the state of Washington today and tomorrow to support local nonprofits. So we're going to talk to the rescue about its mission and fundraising goals to support it coming up in our next half hour. But in the meantime, just take a look at how stinking cute the little kitties are. It's breakfast.
Rod Hill, your choice. You want to stay with the cats here, or do you want to talk about brunch? Please say brunch, because we're
cats, and then you brought up brunch, so I'm all in on brunch.
No,
yeah.
Lisa, our director here, has already moved on to food. Lisa
Brunch.
wants some brunch this morning. This Sunday is Mother's Day, of course. So in honor of Mom's special day, DoorDash put out a list of the 100 best brunch spots in the country, and making the cut, a Southeast Portland favorite, Jam on Hawthorne. Jam on Hawthorne. If you're looking for a place to take Mom this Sunday, maybe take her to Jam. Although after this story, I'm sure reservations will go fast if they're not booked up already. How about hearing from you on this topic? We want to know, what is your favorite brunch spot in the area? Remember, it has to be a good enough spot to take your mom on Mother's Day.
And if you go, wear something nice. I will never forget this. I had an ex-boyfriend, and we were going out for Mother's Day, taking his mom's day, and he wore like some shorts with socks and slides. Put on some nice clothes to celebrate your mother. It's her day.
I've never heard the term slides. That's like little
like the shoes that you can wear with socks.
Flip-flops.
Flip-flops.
Yeah.
But I've never heard that term. Slides.
That's what the kids call them these days.
Is that what they call it now?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, I dumped him right after that.
Ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
Oh, right. I was going to say, how
after
soon
that.
after this event
No,
did he become the ex?
It was college. I don't remember.
Oh, I wanted to hear it. Minutes. As soon as he went to the bathroom, he leaned in, his mom said, I just want to let you know, because of his attire this morning, I'm breaking up with your son here shortly.
Yeah, I'm sure it wasn't long after that, though.
Rod Hill looks sharp this morning.
By the way, 7 o'clock, I like it so far. You guys, I like being here at 7 in the morning, delivering weather information.
Yes.
The day's now up. The temperatures are rising. We're into the day.
I mean, we have no idea. We've been in this one room the entire time. No windows, but you tell us.
Show us what's going on
What's
outside,
going on?
You guys ought to come out and hang out in the newsroom and look out the window from time to time. Here's a look at our Mother's Day rainfall chance. Speaking of, China was talking about Mother's Day and, of course, the brunch. This is growing confidence at this point that we will see an upper level low drop into the area, and we will see increasing showers during the day. Total rainfall Sunday into Monday, 0.2 tenths, at about 35/100ths of an inch. I still think is a good forecast. Some of the weather modeling likes the heaviest rain amounts Sunday evening, Sunday overnight. So I mean, we're still kind of putting the pieces together, but the rain chance is pretty solid at this point. And by the way, this is a cool front, this elongated band of clouds. Doesn't look like much, it's not, but we will get those clouds coming in tomorrow, and they will bring at least a rain chance with them. Today's all about the sunshine again. Great day to work or play. Here's the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha in Washington County, looking out toward the Coast Range. Where you have, I went backwards. I'm like, why did I have that? Here's the temperature of 51. I wanted to go from golf course to golf course, and that's what we're doing now. Here's Lewis River Golf Course up in Woodland. Pretty shot of the rising sun there. That is the first tee, and that's the 10th tee that you're looking at up there at Lewis River Golf Course. Wine Country's been beautiful this morning. Here's the Chehalem Tasting Room in Sherwood. Again, mostly sunny skies will stay with us throughout the day today. And there's a mostly sunny view over the Dundee Hills. That's Domain Serene Winery. Beautiful day to be out there. All right, temperatures on the rise, as I mentioned. 45 now in Kelso, 49 in Salem, 46 in Newport. The Dow's sitting at 43. Bend 39, Baker City 39. So everybody's above freezing, well above freezing. Today it's just sun. The coast might become more partly cloudy than mostly sunny. Mostly sunny there now. Here's the clouds, though, tomorrow morning coming in. And then Futurecast, here's about 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Watch the showers, not much, but some shower activity into 6. And there's 7 o'clock, showers expanding and then moving off after that. So not all of us would get some rain tomorrow afternoon, and those of us that do may or may not get more than a trace. The bigger story tomorrow is probably the cloudiness coming in and the temperatures. Today in the 80s, tomorrow we'll be doing well just to get back up to about 70 degrees. All right, how much rain are we talking about? This does give us the chance of some measurable rainfall tomorrow. So we'll see what we end up with. That's the back half of Wednesday into Wednesday evening. 74 now, Story 71, Pacific City, mostly to partly sunny at the coast. Valley temperatures, most of us will be around 80 degrees, if not a touch warmer today. I have Portland getting up to 84, 70 tomorrow. After tomorrow's rain chance, we'll get back to all dry on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Mother's Day, 65 with that system moving in, clouds and increasing showers during the day. Here's Ashley.
I feel like I get to tell you guys some good news. Our commute looks so wonderful on this Tuesday morning. Here's a look at the Glen Jackson Bridge for those of you who are planning to drive 205 this morning, whether you're headed to Washington or Oregon. No major delays at this time. We'll take you down to Sunset Highway here. A little bit of local slowing as we head into those tunnels. This is at Jefferson. And then, of course, this is a look a little bit further south. Yeah, this is I-5 at Nyberg. And again, one of those slower spots as people trying to transition there onto the freeway, but nothing that we should be surprised about at this time. I do have a heads up for those of you who live in the Astoria area in Clatsop County. Yesterday marked the first day of daily closures for the Lewis and Clark River Bridge. Crews will be out on the bridge making repairs from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. This started yesterday and this goes all the way through till Friday, May 23rd. So that's the next 3 weeks. Drivers will have to detour using US 101 and 101B. Guys.
Thank you, Ashley. Tomorrow, the process to select a new pope begins. So coming up here in 2 minutes, we're going to hear from cardinals around the world as they get ready to go behind locked doors at the Sistine Chapel to discuss the options and determine the next leader of the Catholic Church. The streaming hour of Sunrise, live from 7 to 8 a.m., continues right after this.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We do want to tell you about some breaking news that we're covering this morning.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
For the past few hours, we've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind that's been gusting all morning long.
There are level 3 go now evacuation orders in place.
New information that we just got from Portland police.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW Plus.
Welcome back to Sunrise as we take this live look this morning from the Vatican, where the Catholic Church is getting ready to name its next pope.
Tomorrow, 133 cardinals from across the globe will gather behind the locked doors of the Sistine Chapel for the voting process. NBC's Jay Gray brings us a closer look from the Vatican.
On the eve of the conclave, the magnitude of their decision weighs on the Catholic cardinals who will elect their new pope.
The problems that are in the world, for peace, for immigration, for freedom and for justice. There are so many things that need to be addressed.
Issues they've prayed about and discussed for more than a week following the funeral of Pope Francis. That time, a vital part of the process.
One of the most important times in the selection of a new pope, because this is the time that the cardinals get together and get to know each other. Some of them don't know each other very well. And so there's a lot of meetings.
Tomorrow, the meetings, the talks will end as they gather behind the locked doors of the Sistine Chapel.
Once it really starts, there will be 2 votes in the morning, 2 votes in the afternoon. And this is done in the Sistine Chapel in total silence except for the counting of the votes.
Counting that continues until a 2/3 majority agrees on who will lead the world's largest Christian denomination with more than 1.4 billion members.
We will do what we can, knowing that God is with us and that we're here to make truth, justice, and charity.
Laying out a path for the future of their faith. Jay Gray, NBC News, the Vatican.
Now to your morning rush. The Trump administration is asking a federal judge to dismiss a lawsuit that restricts access to the abortion pill mifepristone. The administration says the case does not meet the legal standard to be heard in the federal district court in which it was filed. Mifepristone is used in more than 60% of U.S. abortions. The Department of Homeland Security is planning to offer free airline tickets and a $1,000 incentive to migrants who elect to voluntarily self-deport from the U.S. The Trump administration says that those who sign up are less likely to be arrested and detained by ICE. The incentives are part of a broader effort by the Trump administration to push unauthorized immigrants to leave the U.S. We're learning more about the FTC's new rule banning hidden fees for live events, hotels, and short-term rentals. It'll also ban practices like bait and switch pricing and any actions that hide the total price and fees. Dynamic pricing is still allowed as long as the pricing information isn't misleading. That rule takes effect next Monday. And that's a look at your morning rush.
Coming up in our next half hour, Mayor Keith Wilson unveils his plan to address the city's $93 million budget shortfall. Thomas Schultz is going to join us live with the latest. And the deal is off. OHSU pulling out of a planned merger with Legacy Health. We're going to hear from both sides about what this could mean for healthcare here in Oregon. Sunrise, the streaming hour from 7 to 8 a.m. continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We do want to tell you about some breaking news that we're covering this morning.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
For the past few hours, we've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind that's been gusting all morning long.
There are level 3 go now evacuation orders in place.
New information that we just got from Portland police.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW Plus.
Good morning. Ashley Graham's here with your traffic report. There is an impact for those of you who are taking 405 in downtown Portland. I want to give you a closer look here. It looks like we've got a disabled vehicle affecting the northbound lanes here right near that exit for US 30. So give yourself a little bit of extra time if you are traveling here on 405 through the city. Elsewhere in the metro area, just some normal slowing that we're used to seeing at this time. Here's I-5 in North Portland and a quick look at 84 at 37th. Rod?
All right, thanks for that, Ashley. A beautiful sunny day coming our direction, all areas. Let's go to the coast. Schnuckwin's Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. The seas are fairly flat. 46 is the temperature. Portland now on the warm-up. We're at 51 degrees. We will keep the sunshine all day, and today will be warmer than yesterday. 71 at noon. Yesterday we stopped at 78. Today we'll continue all the way up to about 84 degrees. Now tomorrow there is a rain chance. It looks like later in the afternoon we'll get some cloudiness, only about 70. And yes, we are still tracking showers expected on Mother's Day as well.
We are still checking in with some cats at Furry Friends Rescue in Vancouver, and they want you to give big today. And he just wants some cuddles and some tickles. Give Big is an online fundraising event. If you don't know, it's happening throughout the state of Washington today and tomorrow. It supports a local nonprofit. So we have more details about how you can help when we talk to the rescue coming up at 7:45.
Meanwhile, we're giving you more Sunrise Show. The live 7 o'clock hour Sunrise, only available here on KGW Plus. Check us out every single weekday. This is not a special occasion. This is the way we're going to do things moving forward.
This is life.
Do it.
Who wants to go first? Traffic or weather?
I'll do it.
Okay, Rod goes first.
Ashley, you want to? No, Ashley was thinking about it. I could see. All right, it's a sunny day all over the place. This is probably going to end up being the warmest day of the week for many of us. 46 degrees in Lincoln City from our Schnuckwin's Casino Resort camera. Downtown Portland, we're at 51 degrees right now. Not much wind, and your day moving forward, it will be 71 at noon. So you leave the house this morning, don't overdress. It's going to feel like summer throughout much of the afternoon. The chill in the air will be gone by lunchtime. High today, 84, which, if we make it, would tie the warmest we have been so far this year. The record today, by the way, is up around 90 degrees. Now, we are tracking a change in the weather starting tomorrow, and I'll have that forecast for you coming up in about 10 minutes with your 7-day forecast. Ashley?
Yeah, sounds good. Can't complain about those 80s. I do have a heads up for those of you who are in the downtown Portland area driving on 405. It looks like we do have a disabled vehicle here, and that is impacting those northbound lanes. So at least a northbound lane here is affected. This is near exit 3 US 30. So give yourself some extra time if you're heading down that way to get around that car. I'll give you another look here at North Portland. This is I-5 at Marine Drive. Just some, normal slowing that we'd expect at this time of the morning. 84 at 37th. Now, one last look here on the west side. This is Sunset Highway at 217. But I do want to give a heads up to those of you who are in the Astoria area. Yesterday marked the first day of daily closures for the Lewis and Clark River Bridge. Crews will be out on the bridge making repairs from 8 to 4 Monday through Friday until May 23rd. So 3 more weeks of this. Drivers will have to detour using US 101 and 101B. Guys.
All right, thank you, Ashley. Top story here at 7:30, layoffs, an increase in parking prices, and higher utility fees could all be coming to the city of Portland.
It'll all be part of Mayor Keith Wilson's budget proposal to deal with $93 million shortfall. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live outside City Hall with more on this. Thomas, good morning.
Good morning, guys. And yeah, job cuts are a huge part of this plan. Mayor Keith Wilson's proposing slashing around 200 jobs within the city. About a third of those would come within the permitting and development department. 14 would come from Parks and Rec. He also wants to raise parking, rideshare, and utility fees. Though we can't do that without the support of City Council.
I hate layoffs, and I noted this at my State of the City. And I've always fought like hell, no matter what organization I've been at, because when you have layoffs, you have culture change, and it is so important to keep that culture intact.
Now, while Wilson is slashing some elements of the budget, he's also adding more to public safety, namely $19 million for police, fire, and Portland street response as well, guys.
And Thomas, but what did he have to say about homelessness? We know that that is a big topic for the mayor and many around town.
Yeah, it's one that he's spoken about quite frequently, right? And he says that he's actually relying on outside resources, namely a lot of money from Metro, to help provide more shelter beds in Portland this coming year. And that's an idea that's raised some eyebrows with some city leaders, namely Steve Novick, a city council member, who says in a statement he's concerned by the heavy reliance on one-time funds in this budget. He adds there's no guarantee that Metro will give us another $15 million next year, and it is virtually guaranteed that the state will not give us additional money next year. Now this, again, is a plan from Mayor Wilson that City Council has to support and approve. They're now going through the process of looking deeply into this plan, which is immense. At the same time, they're presumably going to have their own proposals and revisions that they want to make as well. Those are expected to be discussed on Wednesday. Guys.
Thomas Schultz live for us this morning outside City Hall in downtown Portland. Meanwhile, a local theater is raising money after the Trump administration announced sweeping cuts to the National Endowment for the Arts. Portland Playhouse learned last week that it had lost a $25,000 grant. Since that time, though, the company has really benefited from the community. The community has stepped up, filling seats and donating more than enough money to cover that grant. The Playhouse is responding by starting a crowdfunding campaign, they say, to support the 27 other Oregon arts organizations who lost grant money totaling nearly $600,000.
So it's mobilizing people, and that I'm really proud of, and it's good to see.
I think it's a campaign about voice. It's a campaign about saying, we are here, we cannot be canceled.
We have a full list of the organizations impacted by those cuts and a link to the donation page in the online version of this story at KGW.com.
Meanwhile, Washington officials are warning of a potential trouble for fighting fires. The state's wildfire fighting budget would be cut in half under the proposed budget legislatures passed last month. Washington's Lands Commissioner warns that could put the public at risk starting next year.
The funding next year is woefully inadequate, and we're going to be back to the legislature, and in order to protect public safety, in order to do the work to reduce the risk of wildfire and protect people, we're going to need them to step up.
Washington is facing a multi-billion-dollar budget deficit. The budget proposal cuts state services across the board. Governor Bob Ferguson has 2 weeks to review it before deciding if he'll sign it into law. President Donald Trump signed multiple new health-related executive orders in the Oval Office.
The first order strengthens enforcement of the federal ban on funding gain-of-function research overseas. So gain-of-function, if you're not familiar, is a type of biomedical research that the president blames for contributing to the COVID pandemic. Another order he signed promotes domestic pharmaceutical manufacturing, and he also signed a proclamation on National Mental Health Awareness Month. The president added that he plans to announce new pharmaceutical tariff rates here in the coming weeks.
And Oregon and Washington's attorneys general have joined a handful of other states suing the Trump administration over an executive order that halts federal approvals for offshore and onshore wind energy products.
Oregon and Washington have also joined a lawsuit to reverse cuts made to the U.S. Health and Human Services Agency that stripped 25% of the agency's workforce. The Oregon Attorney General's office claims that the Trump administration's restructuring has destroyed life-saving programs. This lawsuit takes aim at administration officials, including U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He says the cuts that were made were designed to streamline the agency and reduce redundancies.
This cop stopped the herd, some ducks.
'Tis the season for ducks, including this flock near Oregon City. Apparently, the group wanted to cross I-205 on their way. A state trooper stepped in and stopped traffic to make sure that they could all cross, used his hat there to get the family behind the barrier. And it seems like drivers were willing to spare a few seconds to let them pass. Just, you know, faith in humanity right there.
Say what you will about the state troopers of Oregon, Rod Hill, but I tell you what, they've always got your quack. Going down now.
Should we just go to a commercial break now?
Oh, my goodness. No. How about a beautiful Tuesday forecast?
Right. Here's our Timberline camera. Beautiful blue sky. My goodness. Temperature up there at 6,000 feet, currently setting at 42 degrees. It is sunny all locations. There's the Mount Hood from the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles. You folks expected to have light winds, and right now your winds are calm. 43 is your temperature. You will have noticeable west winds picking up during the day tomorrow, And tomorrow you get back into some gusts of about 30. So enjoy the light winds today with warming temperatures. Right now 43. 51 degrees in downtown from our Wells Fargo camera. And there's the Rose City camera. 51 degrees the temperature, obviously the same. All right, here we are. 50 in Forest Grove, 49 out in Beaverton, 56 in Westland. Sandy, good morning. You are at 50 degrees. Still just hold on at 49 in Salem and in Kaiser. Our KGW dog of the day on this Tuesday is Zeus. So beautiful shot, by the way. Now we're changing the way we do this. For years, we've said post on your social media channels. We've given you a hashtag. Now we're saying send us your photos to our email address, which is easy to remember, dogoftheday@kgw.com. Again, dogoftheday@kgw.com. We'll get your photo and your dog will become our dog of the day. Probably should have done it that way the whole time. All right, here's a look at our temperatures later today. 80s from Kelso down through Salem, 70 in Tillamook, nearing 80 if not hitting it in the Dalles, 71 in Bend, 72 in Pelton. These are 4 o'clock temperature projections. Everybody has the sun. Tomorrow we cool down to 70. We get some cloudiness. There's a chance of late day showers that may or may not come true. We do believe at this point it's increasingly likely that we will see showers, clouds, and mid-60s on Mother's Day Sunday. Here's Ashley.
And we are tracking a few slow spots for you this morning. One of those is in downtown Portland on 405 here. You can see that icon there for a disabled vehicle. Now, this is not far from that exit 3 for US 30. So give yourself a little bit of extra time. This is affecting a northbound lane on 405. We have another slow spot as well. This one in the Gladstone area. I don't even think our system has quite caught up to this yet, but ODOT reporting a crash on southbound I-205. This is 1 mile north of the Abernathy Bridge, and we are working to learn more about this one. So if you're coming through that area, you can expect a slowdown there as well. As for North Portland, things look pretty good here. This is not far from the Interstate Bridge at Jansen Beach. A similar story on the west side. This is Sunset Highway at the zoo, not far from the tunnels. A little bit of slowing, but we expect that at this time of the morning. And one look here a little bit further south. This is I-5 at Wilsonville. Guys.
Ashley Grahams, you had no plans to go into Johnson Creek today, correct?
No. And should I stay away?
You should stay away. I'm glad you didn't have plans. Everyone should stay away from Johnson Creek today, and here's why. There's a warning after a sewer main overflow in southeast Portland over on southeast Henderson Drive. The city says about 1,600 gallons of sewage made its way into a tributary that feeds into Johnson Creek. So again, all people, all pets should avoid the creek east of 122nd Avenue through at least midday tomorrow.
OHSU and Legacy Health have officially called off their planned merger. Over the past 18 months, both health systems said that the deal would help alleviate a capacity crisis at OHSU and financial struggles at Legacy. Then last month, the Community Review Board recommended that the Oregon Health Authority reject that merger, though the final decision hasn't been made yet.
But I do think the merger would have been good for Oregon. I'm hopeful, but I'm also very concerned about what's going to happen now and where we go from here.
OHSU is facing some pretty steep cuts in grant funding, so that's going to really have a big impact on their bottom line.
OHSU released a statement saying in part, quote, the best way to meet the needs of the communities they serve is to move forward as individual organizations. Neither said why they decided to put an end to the deal.
All 134 Rite Aids across the state of Washington could soon be on their way out. The stores could be shutting down after the company filed for bankruptcy for the second time in the last 2 years. Rite Aid says it's looking to either sell or shut down its remaining stores, a move that could add to what's described as Washington's pharmacy deserts. According to a 2022 study from the University of Washington, since COVID, more than 1 million Washington residents do not live what's considered to be close to a pharmacy, making them less likely to get prescriptions or vaccines.
So these are some of the animals at Furry Friends, a local rescue in Vancouver. You can hear them right now. Oh, we haven't been able to hear them this morning, but they're loud. They're awake now. They're part of an online fundraising event called Give Big. It's happening throughout the state of Washington today and tomorrow to support local nonprofits. So we are going to talk to the rescue about its mission and fundraising goals to support it coming up next. And we'll leave you with these cute little sounds.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pittawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Pittawanich, and Matt Zaffino. your evening news team, tonight on KGW.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
All morning long, we've been live at Furry Friends, a cat-only rescue in Vancouver. They're part of an online fundraising event called Give Big. It's happening throughout the state of Washington today and tomorrow to support local nonprofits. So Furry Friends, if you're not familiar, it is the largest cat-only shelter in Clark County, and their goal is to raise $30,000 over the next 48 hours. So here to tell us more about the Furry Friends is volunteer Shelby Leroy. So good morning, Shelby. Tell us, for those joining in at 7 a.m., tell us more about Furry Friends and the shelter's mission.
Yeah, Furry Friends it's a cat shelter that we specialize in hoarding situations, strays, and medically fragile cats. So we have a lot of cats here that need dentals, and all of our cats are spayed, neutered, microchipped, and that's where all of the fundraiser funds would be going. So, yeah.
And so Furry Friends, you're trying to raise $30,000 to support your work. So how will that money help?
Yes, so that will go right towards medical care for all of our cats here. Last year alone, we spent over $175,000 on medical care for all of our cats and kittens. So this will just be another drop in the bucket for us for all those dentals and microchips, like I said.
And we're told that there will be a medical facility on site soon. So tell us about that and how that will all support the work that you do there.
Yeah, so we are planning to build a medical facility right behind me here. Our goal is $300,000 raised to break ground on this. We have all the permits. We are just waiting to get enough funds to make sure that it is everything that we need it to be. And so we are gonna do spays and neuters there for all of our cats here, and we'll also have slots open for the community for low cost trap neuter releases.
Furry Friends volunteer Shelby Leroy, thank you. And to help Furry Friends reach their $30,000 goal, go to wagives.org and search Furry Friends, like you see there on your screen. Click donate, and they have several community partners matching donations too. So any amount you can give will help them out.
So I never heard of Furry Friends before. I learned something new today on the Sunrise Show, the only cat-only shelter in Southwest Washington. Can you remember, Rod Hill, top of your head, the only cat-only shelter in Sherwood, Oregon?
By name?
Yes, the name of the organization. It's actually, when you hear it, you're going to go, oh yeah, I should have remembered that.
Meow?
Let me try this. Do you remember what you ate yesterday for lunch?
Oh yeah, that's easy. I had leftover lasagna from the weekend. It was quite tasty.
It has to be food driven.
The name of the cat-only shelter in Sherwood is called CAT. Stands for Cat Adoption Team. CAT.
I will say I like the name of their fundraiser. Aren't they calling it the Big Give?
Yeah, that's a statewide fundraiser that includes that organization.
I like when you don't overthink things. What are we going to call this? The Big Give.
There you go.
All right, let's get you going with your weather forecast. Little strip of clouds out here. It doesn't look like much, and it's not, but we will get these clouds coming in tomorrow. during the morning hours, and eventually we could get some light showers out of this exchange of cooler air coming in. That's tomorrow. This will ignite some west winds. Today, though, it's just calm and sunny for the most part, at least mostly sunny. Here's a view over the courthouse from the Pioneer Park building, looking off to the east. 51 degrees is the temperature. Out over the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club, of course, we're looking out over toward the Coast Range. Beautiful morning, 51. Great day to be out working or playing. It will get warm this afternoon. The sun's kind of washing out this view from the Oregon Zoo, but 80-degree temperatures this afternoon. I bet you the zoo gets some pretty good crowds for a Tuesday. 56 up there in the West Hills right now. Kelso, good morning, 45. You're mainly clear right now. The Dow's 43. Again, winds in the gorge should be fairly light. 39 in Baker City and John Day, where temperatures did generally hold above freezing this morning. Futurecast, the sun today may be becoming partly cloudy at the coast, but really nice weather. Here's the cloudiness coming in tomorrow morning, and then later in the day, 5, 6, 7, some shower activity, not for everybody, but some shower potential. And for the most part, it's going to be traceable to, I think, barely measurable. That's a few passing showers late tomorrow into the evening is what Futurecast is showing right now. And it does give us a chance of seeing some measurable precipitation. I do want to touch on the wind. Today, notice the winds are fairly light and variable. So with no driving force, you automatically get the west wind, just about 15 coming off of the Pacific waters. We do have an east wind direction to maybe 5 or 15 coming into the valley. What I want to show you is with that push of cooler weather coming in tomorrow, look how the west winds ignite tomorrow. So during the afternoon, gusts back up to 32 in Hood River, about the same out through Arlington. And then here are some afternoon gusts to maybe 20, 25 miles per hour from the west in the valley. Again, that's tomorrow. And oh yes, this graphic is still a good one. Increasing showers on Mother's Day. This is looking to be increasingly likely at this point, maybe 2/10 the 35 100ths of an inch of rain as that upper level low drops in. That's your Sunday, so keep that in mind for your Mother's Day outing plans. For today, it's all about the sun and hitting 80 degrees for most of us. This shows 81 in Salem. It shows 83 in Battleground. East winds in southwest Washington, 5 to 15. Portland could make it to 84. Tomorrow, the clouds, the shower threat, down to 70, and then becoming mostly sunny, a really comfortable Thursday. By Friday, we're back up to around 80. Saturday's 70s, and then there's that 65-degree Mother's Day with the increasing showers. It is birthday time. All right, on a Tuesday, let's see who's turning 6. Sloan is. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a wonderful birthday today. There's Bryce. Hey-ya! 7. Hey-ya, Bryce. 7 today. Happy birthday. Grace is 13. She's a basketball player, it looks like. Happy birthday to you. And then this young man's mother, Ms. Romero, sent us the photo, but she forgot to give us her son's name. We're stuck.
Turns 19.
But we're going to look at you. That's what we're doing. You're 18 today. We look at you. All right, happy birthday. We have more. Here's Matthew, 26 today. Happy birthday to you in Vancouver. And Tess is 32. Great picture there up in Silverton. Happy birthday to you. We have a couple more. Tracy's 57 today. Happy birthday. And Dave is 76. Happy birthday to you, sir. And that's it for today. Send us your wishes to birthdays at kgw.com, and we will celebrate with you. Here's Ashley.
Yeah, we're just tracking a couple of slow spots this morning. One of those is in downtown Portland on 405 because of a disabled vehicle. I'll give you a little bit of a closer look. This is right at that exit 3 for US 30. So give yourself some extra time to get around. This is in the northbound lanes. Another slow spot that we're watching is near Gladstone. This is southbound 205. Look at this red area right here. We are hearing that from ODOT that there's a crash in that area. That's 1 mile north of the Abernathy Bridge. Trying to learn more about that. Now, I'll give you a look here at the Glen Jackson Bridge. Just a little bit of a delay, but nothing unexpected. We'll continue to track that for you. Sunrise continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
We've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW+.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
All right, we mentioned a few minutes ago that Sunday, of course, is Mother's Day. And with that in mind, we're talking about best brunch spots in the area. We asked you, what's your favorite? And we received a few different responses here. Let's share a couple. How about Casey from Southeast Portland, who weighed in this morning with Tin Shed?
Tin Shed?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, over on Northeast Alberta. And then Bianca said, Screen Door. Bianca watched it from Tiger, and yeah, China, I know you're a Screen Door fan for sure.
Yeah,
favorite.
Been to both of them.
You know what's good? We should mention a shout out to the place that we like to visit sometimes, the Daily Feast in downtown Portland.
You've been there, Ashley.
I've been recently, yeah.
You know, it's good, and we just kind of get there. We end up there. If you ask me what corner is that on, I can't even tell you. We always sort of just end up there. I want to say it's like 11th and Taylor, but I could be way off. Yeah. Definitely called the Daily Feast.
I get the veggie scramble. Of course, I add bacon, but the veggie scramble itself is very good. Yeah.
Okay, so we want to have one final hit of weather here before we get to Ashley with traffic. What do you have for us, Rod?
Well, it's a summer afternoon, basically, back up to around 84 degrees. We've been there already this year. We'll see if we go warmer. 70 tomorrow. There's that rain chance late in the day, afternoon, evening, maybe a little bit of rain coming through. It wouldn't be much. And, of course, the big headline is right now starting to double down on it being likely that Mother's Day, in fact, does see some rain with clouds and only in the 60s.
And we do have some drive times for you. Going to take you a little bit longer to get down into Portland from Vancouver this morning, and a little bit slower if you're taking 26 or you're headed west on 84. But I do have a reminder for those of you who are in the Astoria area. Yesterday marked the first day of daily closures for the Lewis and Clark River Bridge. Crews will be out on the bridge making repairs from 8 to 4 Monday through Friday, and that's for the next 3 weeks. Drivers will have to detour using US 101 and 101B.
I'm pretty happy with my mind this morning. It is 11th. It is 11th and Taylor. I just looked it up. Daily Feast is on 11th and Taylor. This, by the way, is KGW Plus, the only place where you can watch our live 7 a.m. hour of sunrise. We just launched this week. Tune in every day for a live version of this show from 7 to 8 a.m.
But we're going to leave you with one final shout out to Furry Friends up in Vancouver. They're trying to raise $30,000 as part of an online fundraising event called Give Big. It's happening throughout the state of Washington today and tomorrow. So if you'd like to support their mission, rescuing cats in Clark County, just head to wagives.org, search Furry Friends, and then you just click donate.
I'd like to name that cat.
Okay.
And I'm going to name it Rod.
Rod.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of viewers say, hey, how do I get one of those rods? I'd like to take a rod home. Well, here's your opportunity. This rod is available for adoption today.
Eats less than I do.